Hello, Lachvira. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing good as well.
Very well. I'm good. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming. Today, our episode is all about FAQs. So I have 3 to 4 FAQs with me, which my audience want an answer to. And if, in fact, I'm so excited to get an answer from you.
Okay.
So my first question is that, right now, many people wish to go abroad. So many are very confused between Canada and Australia. So as per you, which is the right pathway?
Of course, the right pathway is permanent residency if we are referring to Canada and Australia. Like for Canada, people who are coming under the STEM category, who are coming under the healthcare category, people who have proficiency in French language or into trade profile or into teaching, and of course, who are studying in Canada or working in Canada, Canada can be considered as a priority. And if we talk about Australia, Australia's occupation list is huge, but very streamlined. Uh, IT, engineering, digital marketing, sales and marketing, recruitment consultants, HR advisors, supply chain and procurement, and many more. So, if your occupation is falling into any of those which I've just mentioned, and of course, finance, accounts, internal auditor, external auditor, finance manager, or finance investment advisor, then Australia should of course be reviewed. And Australia's financial year accounting starts from July to June. They have a specific quota which they release every year. So anybody thinking about Australia should pull up their socks right away, not only planning, but they should start executing on their plan.
All right. So both countries are, really good. It all depends, based on their profile and the eligibility, how strong the profile is. Accordingly, we have to, let them know,
Yes, of course.
and they should take that pathway. Is it possible to apply both the countries parallelly? Because you should always have a backup. What do you say?
If you talk about, running both the process parallelly, it is legitimate, it is legal, and if your occupation is in demand both in Canada and Australia, and you want to run both the process parallelly, it is very much possible.
All right. Somewhere I have read, people from IT background or any other occupation are paid more in Australia in comparison with the Canadian salary. So, what's your point on this?
It's never the same. It would depend in IT. What is your trade? For instance, if you are a SAP consultant, SAP consultants are highly paid in Canada, right? If you are a software developer, if you are into cybersecurity, you're equally paid as good as in Australia. So the right candidate would always get the right pay, be it in Australia or be it in Canada.
Okay, all right. Oh, one important question which I always thought of, I don't have an accurate answer to it, but since you are here, so I thought, why not asking you this question? Uh, Usually, people who want to go abroad, they have a fear in their mind that, they always have to start from deep scratch. So how true this statement is, because many of my clients have backed out because of this fear. They really wanted to go abroad, but if they are well settled here in India, having a great career, great life, and for them, going abroad means taking a step from scratch. Is it true?
Not always again, because if you're thinking of moving to a developed country, then of course the kind of graph that you have to consider or review is what I would be here in the next 5 to 6 years and what I would be there in the next 5 to 6 years. And then you would actually realize the actual gap. And it is never the same that if you are at a senior role, you have to start from the scratch. Yes, it takes little time. Patience is the key. but we have seen many people even taking one step ahead of what they were doing here. Now, it's very obvious that if I am into a sales role at a very senior level, the employer in Canada or Australia or any other country might be little reluctant to give me a very senior sales role. Not that they doubt in my efficiency or my sales trait, but I don't have that much of in-depth understanding of the geographical market. So while I adapt with the geographical understanding of the country there, then the employers would also have the confidence, and in no time you would be able to go up or rather higher level to what you were doing here.
All right. So, it's not always true that they have to start from scratch since you have been in this industry for a long time. So, you have met a lot of clients who have gone to different countries, started from, even on a higher designation they started from.
Yes, I am amazed to see so many of them, because in today's era, you can check what people are doing by going into their LinkedIn profile. And you feel so glad that they are doing even better in a new country, right? But nothing comes on a platter. You have to build up your network, you have to gain some experience, position, money, fame, everything would come to you.
There's always a priority, I would say. Somebody who's very young, definitely they should go because, you have to start from somewhere. And definitely if you're young, you have more number of, years with you to reach your goal. And somebody who have their priority in terms of, a family, they have a great, they have the great future for their kids because you get a lot of benefits in abroad in terms of social security benefits and everything, correct?
Yes, because sooner you start your journey, the better it is for you. But if it has been a little late, but still you can start. As mentioned, even in the past, if you are eligible, irrespective of your age, even if you are in your mid 30s, late 30s, early 40s, you should try.
Okay, all right. Thank you for such a wonderful answer. I hope people will like it. My next question is related to work permit. So, 90% of the calls which my consultant are receiving, majority of the people, ask for a work permit. Is it really true that getting work permit is really easy these days? That's why people have chosen for this, or people don't have patience, so they're looking for a short-term way to reach a country. Even with the somebody is a skilled professional, they really like to work in a blue collar job. So what's your point of view in this?
Work permits were never easy. Work permits are still not easy. In fact, we don't recommend work permits. What is required for a work permit? It is not a permit that is just being given to you. Work permits are based on a valid job offer from an employer,
Right.
which is difficult, right? Now, if a country has a skilled, migration plan in a process, then why would they just call somebody from outside their country? Because their labor market laws are very strict. Because people go wrong here. And I really feel very sad when I see, skilled professionals talking to consultants and they say, just manage a job for me. I'm okay working at any level, right? Because they assume that they would be able to lend their successfully, and with the kind of trade they are having, they would be able to get into their skill set very soon. But it is not so. For instance, you might get a job offer at a much lower skill, not a very great wage level. You also get a work permit, but with a work permit, you cannot enter that country. What you need for that? You need a valid visa. So, do you really think the case officer is going to give a qualified engineer or a qualified IT professional visa for a job or a work permit which is way below the skill level? And hence, many of them suffer, and then they keep on chasing, and then they come for a help on the visa because no experts can help them with the visa. Because if I am a case officer and I get a visa request coming from an educated applicant who has very good years of experience at a very low skill level in any particular country, say Germany or Luxembourg or France. I'm naming these countries because it's a very common name which we often get to hear these days. I will doubt the intent of the person, that why is he being so proficient in a skill set which is proven in his resume and the other documents, why he is ready to relocate at such a low level skill. He might have some other thing in their mindset, might be settled illegally. I will not give, I will reject the visa. So that is something which the people should understand before taking such initiative.
All right. So definitely it is easy to get a blue collar job, and the legends who are doing it, they will definitely able to give you this work permit under blue collar category. But somebody who is a skilled professional, they should understand that even though they get a blue collar job, it is difficult to crack the visa any of you. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hope people will understand, because awareness is something that is really missing these days. Majority of the people talk about work permit. So hope people will understand, and I'll definitely tell my counselor to counsel them in a right way, guide them, make them understand what is the best pathway for them. A legal pathway. There are many skilled professionals have a lot of pathways, a legal government pathways,
Correct.
which they choose from, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, I have a question related to Australia. Since there are few skill assessing authority are coming up with priority services. So want to understand, though they have the normal process, but they are coming up with this priority services with an extra fee. All right. So, what you suggest the candidate, should they take the priority pathway to get their skill assessment outcome in a shorter duration, or they should take the normal pathway? So, what's your point of view or your answer to this question?
Yeah, as of now, the two major skill assessment authority which are accepting applications under priority are Pegasus and Engineers Australia. Indeed, if somebody can manage their finances, should of course consider priority processing, because you are cutting the queue. As in, or rather under normal processing you get the outcome in say 2 to 3 months. Under priority processing you can expect the skill assessment outcome to come in 10 business days. So sooner you are into the EOI pool, you are into the selection process, so better the chances of your application getting picked up, or faster the chances of your application getting picked up. And I would again like to notify here that VETSs have amended few changes under priority processing. So if I am an applicant and I have put my application today under normal processing, I can still upscale my processing under priority category within 4 weeks of submitting my application. Earlier, VETSs used to give just 2 business days to the applicant if they were looking forward for further clarification from the candidate, but now they are giving 4 business days. So, if priority is an option which you would be able to manage, and if you're eligible for, go for priority processing because it's an era of competition.
Correct, very true. Because it's not just Indians who are fighting for Australian PR. There are many countries, from many countries, people are fighting for Australian PR. So, in order to cut the competition,
I don't say that cut the competition, but cut the queue.
cut,
You should consider.
definitely it will automatically cut the competition as well, because people who are not, who are there the EOI, not in the EOI, the same profile, and the person who's entering into the EOI, they have more chances to succeed.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So my final question is related to it's a general question, I would say, which I always thought of because I don't had the right answer to it. How you see, what's your point of view? I really want to know on this. Uh, in India, usually majority of the calls which we receive or people we talk, they have their occupation is related to IT. Their occupation is related to accounts and banking and engineers and sales and marketing. These are the major, queries which we receive. Which are the right countries where our consultant should guide them that you should go, you should choose this country where the chances are more. How we should, tackle.
We already spoke about Canada, which kind occupations, or rather, if your occupation is falling under as those particular specific category-based occupation, you can consider those. If somebody is looking for Europe, then Germany can be a very great destination, especially STEM profiles related to finance, because if you are there in the Germany market and if you start working, then you can be hopeful to soon get your European Union blue card, because with your European Union blue card, you can explore the other 25 European countries that comes under EU. Likewise, if your occupation is into, say, IT again, engineering, uh, teaching, if you are a university lecturer, if you are a cafe or restaurant manager, if you are a chef, if you are a cook, if you're into supply chain and logistic, and many more occupations, Australia indeed should be reviewed.
All right, that means somebody who have a long-term goal or somebody who you want to get settled abroad and somebody who have a family, the right guidance can be a permanent residency. Because with permanent residency, they'll not just get an entry to the country, they get ton of social security benefits, which no other country we give the category.
It's because if you are a PR holder,
Hmm.
you are as good as a citizen.
Correct.
It sent you right to vote.
All right. So that means, somebody who's eligible, they always have a chance to succeed. So they should build that pathway. Okay. Thank you so much, Achira, for such a wonderful answers.
Thank you.
Hope our viewers have enjoyed this conversation, and they may come up with a lot of queries. So which I will definitely ask you these extra episodes. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye.